I'm super excited because today I'm going to show you how to make the best homemade brownies that are just as easy as the box stuff. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and we're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. These homemade brownies are just as easy to make as the box brownies. They taste better and they're going to cost you a lot less. Now, I have the full recipe linked below in the description, or you can just go to eatingonadime.com to find the full recipe and just search homemade brownies. It will pull right up for you. I've been making these brownies, I was telling my sister, for decades. She kind of laughed at me, but I remember the first time I made homemade brownies, I was probably early 20s. So I was in college, and I learned really quickly that homemade brownies are super delicious and super easy to make. So there's no reason that you should be overpaying for the box stuff at the grocery store. And before we get started, we also have a digital cookbook that is for desserts. It's like 50 easy desserts that you can make from scratch. So simple, and right now we have it half off, so I've included that link before. And I also wanted to remind you to like and subscribe. If you have not subscribed to us, guys, you're missing out because we are posting a ton of videos with delicious and easy recipes that you don't want to miss. First, we're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Next, you're going to need an 8x8 pan. This is the one that I have right here, and we're going to grease it or spray it with nonstick spray. But I also wanted to show you this one because you can do a 9x9 if you have it. It's just slightly bigger, and your brownies will be just slightly thinner. Still really, really good. Another tip is glass works great, but metal works great too. The thing I love about making brownies in the metal is it gives you a little bit of that crispier edge. And I don't know, but you got to tell me in the comments below, are you a center of the brownie kind of person, or are you the edge of the pan kind of person? Because I'm an edge, or I will fight you for the corner piece because it has two edges. So let me know in the comments below. So now I'm just going to spray this just so it doesn't stick. The thing you're going to love about this recipe is you actually don't have to separate like flour, the dry ingredients from the wet ingredients. We're just throwing it all in one bowl. So we're going to start with a half a cup of butter, or just one stick. Yes, my microwave is down here, and I'm just going to microwave this to get it nice and melted. You don't even have to melt the butter in a different bowl. That's why I'm using a glass mixing bowl instead of a metal one. My butter is melted. Now we're going to start adding in our dry ingredients. Well, all our ingredients. What am I saying? But what I like to wait is I don't like to crack my eggs right into the butter because that can, kind of cook the eggs a little bit. So I put my flour and stuff first and then the eggs right on top. Now we're going to add some more ingredients, our drier ingredients. So I'm going to add 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. I don't really pack it in. I just kind of smooth off the top and dump it in. Then we need 1 cup of white sugar. Don't judge my giant container. My sugar container broke and I already had this one. So it's a little big, but that's okay. Let me break apart some of the sugar. It's just my makeshift sugar container until I can head to the store and get another one that matches my other ones. Okay. Cup of white sugar. Now, if you're wanting to do less sugar, you can do that. It's just head to our actual recipe on the site, and it'll give you ideas on things you can substitute if you want less sugar. Then we need 1/2 cup of flour. Same thing. We don't want to press it down. You just want to do a big scoop and just swipe it off. That way your brownies are not super thick and dry. Then we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oop. And we need 2 eggs. So now I'm cracking those eggs right on top. That way it just gives it a little bit of time for that butter to calm down. Because remember, we're just trying to make this super simple and easy. Last but not least, we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and the same amount of salt. 1/4 teaspoon. Then we just gotta mix it up. I love my KitchenAid hand mixer. Remember, brownie batter is thick. It is not like a cake mix. It's not like a cookie, but it's definitely in between. Make sure when you mix it up, you use a spatula to get the sides down, just to get all the flavor in. Now make sure you stay tuned. At the end of this video, I'm going to talk about ways that you can make these brownies even faster. But we're going to finish mixing this up, just a few minutes. They already smell so good. Okay, that's how easy it is. We're just going to dump this in the pan and off to the oven we go. Got to save those beaters so we can lick them later. Don't judge me. Let me know below if you're a beater licker. That sounded really weird. As a kid, that was my favorite part in the kitchen, and was always getting to lick the beaters. Fortunately, there was 2 sisters, so we each got one. But I was the older sister, so I always made sure to grab the one that had the most on them. And Christina loves me for it. Ish. So I'm just getting this all out. I'm just scraping this all off, and plus you got to lick the bowl, guys. So, okay, then I'm just shaking this around to make sure it gets everywhere and kind of flattens it out a little bit. Okay, you caught me. Now, the easiest part of all, we're going to toss this in the oven. Remember, we preheated it to 355. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Hold on. Another beater lick. We preheated it to 350 degrees. Now we're just going to bake this for about 25 to 30 minutes. Also, right now, if you wanted to put some additions to them, like M&Ms, chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, nuts, you could sprinkle it in, or you could hand mix it in right before you dump it in. And remember, go to the full recipe, because we tell you like an approximate amount of what you want when you dump them in for the walnuts or whatever you want to add to your brownies. Now that it's finished cooking, we just need to test it with a toothpick. We just put it in the center, and if it comes out clean, you're done and it's ready to go. If it comes out a little still with brownies on it, you want to cook it for another 5 more minutes. I just place it on my stove, or you can do a wire rack. We're going to let this sit for 5 to 10 minutes before we cut. Now it's time for my favorite part, eating it. Okay, little tip for brownies. I know it looks fancy, but this is actually a plastic knife. Okay, it's silver because you know we have graduation and stuff like that happening around here. But it is a plastic knife, and plastic knives are the best way to cut brownies without them like destroying. So if you haven't seen that tip, now you know it. Yeah, that's it. Let's cut in. I need a bite. I need a bite, guys. I need a bite, right? So you just take the knife and you do it like a sawing motion, and see, look, there's only a little bit of brownie stuck on that knife after one slice. I wanted to show you up close, but when you saw, don't just slide through, saw it. And you have these beautiful, oopsie, these beautiful little perfect lines. See, and they just scoop out perfectly. Now, of course, I got an edge. I'm going to pile them up all pretty, but I can't wait anymore. We must devour this brownie. Best brownies ever. It's so good that one of the teens had to run in and grab a piece while we were in the middle of the video. I should have just shot that part, but he couldn't wait any longer because it smells good and they taste good. And then he mentioned that they're a little too gooey. Apparently he likes his brownies overcooked. So I want to know in the comments, how do you like your brownies? Do you like them a little overcooked, almost like a crunchy edge? Or do you like them where they're a little bit gooier in the middle? And I love a crunchy edge, guys. You know that. But it's got to be gooey. I don't want a dried out brownie. And these are not dried out. They taste delicious. and you're gonna love them every single time. Now, if you wanna double this recipe, you can double it and put it in a 9x13 pan. It'll cook about the same amount of time. You might need just a little bit longer, maybe 30 to 35 minutes, but just do that toothpick test and you're golden on that. Ooh, the hardest part about this recipe is not eating all of them in one setting. Well, friends, 3 brownies have already disappeared. They weren't all for me. No, wait, that'd be 4 brownies. You took 2. I ate 1. I ate another one, and Christina finished off the little edge that I saved for myself. That's the hardest part about these brownies, is not eating them all. Okay, so before we go, you need to grab the full recipe linked below. Remember, we have all the nutritional information, tips and tricks, substitution ideas, because if you want to do less butter, we've got you. If you want to do whole wheat flour or gluten-free, we've got you. If you want to add nuts or candies or anything, we have you, and we give you all the tips and tricks on that post that we have linked below. Our dessert cookbook that's 50% off is also linked as well, that you can snag today. Now, I did say stay till the end because I'm going to give you a tip on how to make this even easier. What I love to do is I like to make my own brownie mixes. So you take some quart-sized baggies, open them up, and dump all the dry ingredients in every single one. So the cocoa powder, the flour, the baking powder, the salt, and the sugar. And you dump it all in. And then you just write on there what you have to add to it. The 2 eggs and the melted butter and the vanilla. So then now you just made your own boxed brownie mix. Make 5 of them at a time and keep them in your pantry. And when your kids are craving something sweet, go spend 3 minutes mixing them up just like you would for a boxed brownie mix, except for now you're getting delicious homemade brownies where you can pronounce all the ingredients inside. I'm out of here, friends. I've got to go devour this plate of brownies with a glass of milk. Don't judge. You guys have a great time. I will see you next time in my kitchen for another family-friendly recipe. But before we go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our easy family recipes. I'll see you next time, friends.